All right, so let's talk about note taking. There's a lot of different strategies out there. And what I want to emphasize is that I want you to find what works best for you. You might have already in your previous educational experiences or your experience here found something that works well. I want you to be open to being flexible and thinking about not just what might work better for you in general, but also that certain strategies will work better for different situations. For instance, SQ3R. I won't explain that in great detail in this video. I have other resources for that, but it's really great for dense textbook reading. So things along the lines that you find in biology, psychology, history, when you have dense textbook chapters that you're trying to parse through or understand. What I'm going to talk about in this video is the Cornell Method. The reason I like that for something like this class is it's really multi-use and flexible. That we have a lot of videos, we have readings, and this can help you with that multi-use. It's a little bit more flexible. Now both can be helpful in both of those situations, but I think that they're a little bit better targeted at these areas. So let me go over briefly the Cornell Method. The important first step is how you set up, where you're inputting your information. So this is how you would set it up on a piece of paper. So if you had a piece of lined paper, you would draw an off-center eye on your note paper, and you're leaving room in 4 different areas: here, 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 and here. And I'll talk about what you put in each one of those. You can also use Excel or another program, but Excel does well at creating big blocks, and then you can just type in those blocks. So you would have 4 very large cells, or smaller ones if you want lines. Now, the next thing that you do is the first information that you add is at the top, the topic, name, and date. This helps you keep organized. This is really important, especially with those classes, as I mentioned, like psychology, biology, history, where there's exams over a lot of material with detailed information. So this will help you keep organized. And as you're watching a video, reading, attending a lecture, you add information here. So notes, drawings, this leaves room for something like that. Maybe not as easily done on the computer, but definitely on line paper can help you there. Skip lines between ideas. So basically leave room between ideas so you can come back later, and if you want to add information, maybe from an additional source, maybe you're taking notes during a lecture, and then later on you find information in the reading that applies to that. Well, if you skip lines, you have room for that later. Use abbreviations as you need them. Just make sure that they're not something that is non-standard or something difficult for you to remember, and then you go back later and you're confused. So abbreviations help, especially when you're trying to take notes quickly during a lecture. Just think through them. Okay, so after you've watched the video or read or attended the lecture, you go through and you look through this and you pull out main ideas, key points, important people or dates, and you put them in this column. And this helps so when you go back to look at this material, you can quickly look here without having to look at all the detail here and see, well, okay, what are the main points here? How does that associate with what I need to be studying? And your last step is to summarize. So you use this bottom column where you add a few sentences that sum up the main points that are in here and over there. And what you're really asking yourself in that situation is, how would I explain this to someone who doesn't know about the topic? And so that way you get it, it's short, so you have to be concise, but you're also making sure that you're putting those important points in there. One of the reasons this is really helpful is that all of this is probably written in a way that you're writing it, but it has a lot to do with the source that you're taking it from. This helps you because it makes you put it in your own words and in your own understanding. And anytime we do that, we have a much better retention. We retain the information better, but we also understand it better. So that's the Cornell method. Pretty simple, mainly a setup, a way that you set up, and again, it's just one strategy. I would like you to apply it.